From Paulsboro High School in southern New Jersey, CN8, the Comcast Network presents High School Football 1997. Today, the Thundering Herd of Woodbury with a mark of 5-0 stampedes into Paulsboro to take on the Red Raiders, also at 5-0 as they look to keep their 56-game winning streak intact. Hello again, everybody. From Bennett Field, I'm Mick Moninghoff, as today we are set for what could be a game for the ages. Go back to the history books in the 70s. Well, Notre Dame knocked off UCLA to end an 88-game winning streak in college hoops. In the 80s, Michael Spinks knocks off Larry Holmes, stops his winning streak. And in the 90s, this may be the game they talk about in South Jersey, as you have the Thundering Herd of Woodbury calling on Paulsboro, hopefully to end a 56-game winning streak. That's the way at least Woodbury looks at this ball game. Today I'm joined by Mike Lindner. And Mike, we have heard so much about this ball game, and when you pick up the local newspapers, the hype has been just magnanimous.
Oh, it's been a magnanimous feeling all around here today. They've expected around 5,000 to 7,000 people. Looks like it's going to be held down because of this horrendous weather to about 3,000. But you talk about history, Mick. You don't have to go back that far. You just go back about this time a year ago, and this streak that Paulsboro's put together nearly came apart in a 28-21 game in which Paulsboro was fortunate to eke out the victory over Woodbury. Woodbury has been waiting for this game since then.
Well, let's talk about some of the premier players that we'll see in the ball game today for Paulsboro. You don't have to look any further than Richard Gaines. Now, he is just the second leading scorer in southern New Jersey. 13 touchdowns this year.
As you can see with the 13 touchdowns. A real quick tailback, one in a series of great tailbacks that Paulsboro's had over the years, and we'll talk about them later. This is in a game against Haddon Heights in which they set the state scoring record, or a victory record of 54 straight, and that's Gaines going off the right side. You'll see that play quite a bit. They love the power sweep.
Also on the defensive side, John Calness at nose tackle is the big hitter. He leads the Paulsboro defense.
Big is absolutely right. 6 foot, 262 pounds, as you see. Great offensive tackle, but more importantly, what a super nose guard, nose tackle, whatever you want to give him as a name. And he'll slide all over the place defensively. He's an outstanding defensive player.
Slide might be the operative word with the torrential downpours that we've had here today, but it may not be enough to slow down Woodbury's Lamar Sturdivant. Now, he is the kind of running back who also has great skill, and Sturdivant is the leading scorer in southern New Jersey.
Yeah, he's put together 82 points. He has 13 touchdowns also, but he's got a couple of two-point conversion runs, which they like to do a lot here. Had 4 TDs last week in their last ball game against Sterling. Sturdivant getting attention from all the major schools. Now, this is a game last year that we talked about where Woodbury nearly picked up the upset over Paulsboro. You can see Sturdivant looked like he was stopped on the far right side and then just turned it on and picked up a couple of great blocks and showed the speed that he had to get down the sideline and into the end zone for a big touchdown. And at that point, they thought the upset may have been on.
Also, Mike Garcia leads the Woodbury defense. They'll need a big game from him up front if they're going to slow down the rushing attack from Paulsboro today.
Garcia will lead the charge at that 250 pounds, but they're going to need help from Steve Smith and Pat King and J.D. Barringer. That front four is really going to be the determinant today, whether or not they can stop the inside game of Paulsboro.
Well, we hear a lot of storylines in this one. The streak is on the line, the battle of two great running backs, and if Hemingway would have wrote this, he would have used the rain as foreshadowing as well. We'll come back with the start of today's ball game. It should be a great one. Paulsboro taking on Woodbury right here on CN8, the Comcast Network, so stay with us. Welcome back to Paulsboro. As we have had our national anthem, we are about set for the start of today's ball game as each team comes in with 5-0 records. And Mike, we had the toss just a moment ago. Paulsboro deferred to the third quarter, and oddly enough, Woodbury wants to kick the football to start today's ball game.
Well, that tells you something about the weather conditions, doesn't it? And they want the wind behind their back. As we'll take a look at Glenn Howard, who's leading this Paulsboro group. Came to Paulsboro High School as a student, made All-State as a football player, and graduated in 77, went out, had a super career in the Big Ten, then played professional ball with the Philadelphia Baltimore Stars, and has had a super record here in his 11th year, 95-16.
Get a good look at the Woodbury sideline as there's their head coach, Jim Boyd. You know, I spoke to him earlier in the week. He says they'll always go for two. They won't kick anything today.
Well, they're hoping they won't have to worry about that. Has a long assistant coaching career and then 8 years as head coach here at Woodbury, and has put together a pretty decent record himself, 51-21-1. Two good coaches matching up in a game with a couple of great teams.
There, the man with the ball is Lamar Sturdivant. He has a lot of college scouts in attendance here today. I believe LaSalle is here. Penn State is here just to see what he can do, as he is the leading scorer in South Jersey. He also handles a lot of kicking duties for Woodbury as well.
Well, he gets a lot of attention at the high school level offensively, but most of his attention is a defensive player.
And there you see Demian Green back with Richard Gaines. Gaines, number 19. He is the threat to bring anything back. The whistle blows. Sturdivant approaches the football, and his kick is a little short. This will be Gaines at about the 20-yard line. He comes straight forward, has a wall ahead of him. Crosses the 40 up to about the 45-yard line. Great return for Gaines. 1st and 10 for Paulsboro.
Special teams always been a feature of Paulsboro teams. They work on every facet of the football game. And Gaines gave them the good field position there with the outstanding run back.
Good look at Jared Claiborne, number 13, who joins the huddle. Senior quarterback has played with Vernon Sharper on and off throughout the season, but we expect to see more of Claiborne here today because the passing conditions really aren't that favorable, and he's more of the running quarterback. 1st and 10, call it the 44-yard line, and this will be Gaines on the first handoff, off tackle and into the secondary, where finally Sturdivant brings him down from behind.
Super block by Troy Bennett, number 44. You'll see him all day long coming ahead of Gaines and throwing the blocks.
Gaines, Bennett, Green, Sheard, and Red Coles at the skill positions. Countess, the big guy up front, with Claiborne, Trexler, Haynes, and Relation. The offensive line for the Red Raiders. So after the run, 1st and 10. Just across midfield on the Woodbury 45. Tight end Red Coles goes in motion, gains straight forward, and a pretty good gain, about 3 yards. Going behind the left side of the line, Claiborne clearing people out. Here's the defense. Steve Smith's up front with J.D. Barringer, Garcia, and King round out the defensive front. Allen, Adair, and Seitz at the linebacker spot. Allen, Johnson, Sturdivant, and Harvey, who all go both ways in the secondary.
See a lot of the both way plays at the small Group 1 schools, particularly down here in South Jersey. Little equipment problem out there on the field.
2nd and about 6 coming up. They'll put this ball outside the 40-yard line. Call it about the 41. Well, they've run Gaines twice so far.
Yeah, we've seen them go with the I formation with the wing back in tight. What you'll see Paulsboro do, they'll have their first so many plays scripted to try and read exactly what Woodbury will do defensively against their different sets.
Nelson, the wide out at the top of the screen. The quarterback is under siege, breaks one tackle, and Claiborne will run this one out of bounds, about a yard gain up to the 45-yard line. Mason Allen closed from the corner to run Claiborne out of bounds.
Doesn't look like much of a game, but he was actually very, very fortunate, Mick, because he could have been thrown for the big loss in the backfield, and Claiborne, feeling the pressure, was able to skirt off to the near side and get up the sideline to get it back a yard or so beyond the original line of scrimmage.
Good pressure by Garcia and company up front, forcing a 3rd and 5 at the 40-yard line. Backs in the I tandem. Gaines takes the handoff, wants to bounce outside, breaks one tackle, still driving, and he'll be close to a first down, as he has the first down just across the 40-yard line.
Super job again done by Bennett. Bennett so far has thrown 2 key blocks in this ball game, the spring Gaines, and he's a sophomore, but hey, they say he's the next really big one here at Paulsboro, and he showed us what he can do on that play just as a blocking back. A lot of people figure he'll be featured as the tailback next year here for the Red Raiders.
Well, like you say, he is just a sophomore, but at 6'1", 205, he can pack a punch.
Right, he's got 6 TDs himself this season already.
Second first down. This is in the drive that started, and they're at the 34-yard line. Just a handoff straight forward, and still stumbling forward is Troy Bennett, who just wouldn't go down.
That's that sophomore with a little excitement this time. It looked like he was down, only had a gain of maybe a yard or 2, and then the second effort picked up the additional yardage and gives him, a total of about 7.
That's what
Watch
they're going
this.
to call
We'll
it.
just see him go off the right side this time. And they're going to set up the option series to the outside, but they've got to run the fullback in there. Looked like he was down, but he did not give up. Just crawled forward and wound up with the 7.
2nd and 3 at the 23-yard line, and Gaines is popped. Good gang tackling that time, and it was the linebacker, John Stites, coming from the Sam position, The 5'11 junior made a nice hit.
Stites and Mason Allen, number 11, also in on that hit. And, boy, that's the kind of closure they wanted from their defense to force Paulsboro in a situation where they'd be 3rd and long. Instead, because of that good run by Bennett, they find themselves 3rd and short.
Call it the 21-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and a long yard, and still they line up in an I formation. Little delay, and a handoff goes to Gaines, and nothing is there. Seth Allen, the first to greet him, along with defensive tackle Pat King.
Well, good defensive teams are schooled on situations where you may have pass to look for draw, look for screen. And the defense that time read their keys perfectly, picked up the draw and denied them, and going to force the at least potential punt situation.
Another look at it here, Mike.
Oh, they just closed quickly, read draw first. Now, watch Paulsboro here as they go down into their stance, try and draw the team off sides. They've been doing it for years.
Claiborne, the quarterback, is the punter. He's going to try to pooch this one. Sturdivant will let it roll. It will go into the end zone. Good school play there. Don't catch the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Smart decision made by a very smart player, Lamar Sturdivant.
So after the
they may not have wanted it on the 20-yard line, but at least they wanted to stop Paulsboro on that first offensive surge, and they did just that. Now it's their chance to try and test the Paulsboro defense.
So Woodbury,
I think everybody here is so excited they've forgotten about the rain already, and it seems to have backed off a little bit.
Just a little. Last man to join the huddle is Ryan Kent. He's your starting quarterback.
Just a junior, his first year as the starter. There was some question early in the year who would get the position, but Kent won out in the opening 3 weeks of drills, and he's been very, very steady at that spot for Woodbury this year.
1st and 10, 20-yard line. Option toss goes to Mason Allen. Tried to go down the line and could not turn the corner as the defense closed very quickly.
Well, they figure on this play everybody's going to be keying Sturdivant, and interestingly, they ran him out there as a lead block in any event, and that took the defense right to Mason Allen, and they wind up with a gain of about a yard.
So you'll see the ball's placed at about the 21-yard line. As Kent has a pretty good arm. We saw him in warm-up, tossing the ball 35, 40 yards with no effort, especially in a downpour, so he can put it up in adverse conditions. 2-step drop and a quick look in, overthrew the intended receiver, incomplete. That was Martin Johnson trying to get a hand on the football, and Vern Sharper tried for a pick, but he really didn't come that close. Let's take a look at the starting offense. Sturdivant in the backfield along with the Allen boys, Mason and Seth, Martin Johnson and Sean Harvey at the wideouts. Miller, King, Boyd, King, and Garcia. The King boys are brothers up front.
Yeah, a little surprise there, huh, in the early going. I guess they wanted to find out whether or not they can throw in this weather or not. Now they're almost forced into a throwing down.
3rd and 9 at the 21-yard line. Handoff straight forward. This is Seth Allen. And oddly enough, 3 straight plays from the line of scrimmage, and they did not involve Sturdivant in any one of them. Defense, Shear, Holloway, Caldas, Claiborne, and Lewis up front. The linebackers, Bennett and Warren Sharper. Gaines, Green, Vern Sharper, and Jared Claiborne in the secondary for Paulsboro.
Well, kicking game, so much an important part of football. Offense, defense, and special teams. And now Sturdivant will get a chance to try and keep Paulsboro from getting too much just in the exchange of possessions on field position.
Gaines back deep for the kick from Sturdivant. See what kind of kick Lamar gets off here. Decent snap. Not much of a rush, and a good line drive end-over-end kick that'll bounce and go out of bounds near midfield at about the 46-yard line. No score early on here, first quarter. Each team has had a shot. Nothing to show for it. We'll come back in a moment with more right here on CN8, the Comcast Network, so stay with us. Welcome back. 1st and 10 at about the 47-yard line for Paulsboro, so right near midfield. Claiborne under center and sends his tight end. Paul Redcole's in motion. Hand off to Gaines. There's a flag on the play, and I think we got motion on the offense as this one is sure to come back. Dave Wildermuth is the official. He's the man with the white hat, and we'll get the call from David here. False start, offense.
Redcole's in a little bit too much of a hurry to turn up in that line and lead the blocking. That cost them the 5. You have a feeling on a day with weather conditions the way they are, if both teams come in as evenly matched as everyone assumes, that it's the team that makes the fewest mistakes that'll win it.
I told you Mr. Wildermuth is out there with Dave Beeler, Dan Green, Howard Cressman, Dallas Helper, and Carmel Marina is operating the clock today. Of course, he's the wrestling coach here at Paulsboro, so nobody's giving him a hard time at all. 1st and 15. Ball back at about the 41-yard line. And here comes the pursuit, and this is going to be a quarterback sack. First time today they've gotten to him, and it is Seth Allen, the middle linebacker, who was right there to make the hit.
Well, that's the second or third time we've called Seth's number 10 so far. He just read that perfectly. That was clearly going to be a run all the way by Claiborne as it begins to brighten up here at Paulsboro. Hey, the weatherman might have had it right. Said it was going to clear up by the afternoon. But watch this. It was run all the way. Claiborne had no choice but to do that, and then he is handled by Allen. And another loss. Add that to the yardage lost on the penalty, and they're putting themselves in a hole early.
Be about 17 yards to go for a first down after the penalty on the quarterback sack. Oh, motion all over, and the flags come out.
We'll wait and see who gets this call, but if that's against Paulsboro, so far what you're seeing is uncharacteristic from this club, obviously.
False start offense.
Yep. They're a team that prides themselves on not making mistakes, not making errors. Make the other team with a mistake, as we'll see. Center started, and then they all jumped. But they count on the other team making mistakes, and then the Red Raiders taking advantage of those errors.
Well, they're going in the wrong direction. They started near midfield. Now they're back to about the 34-yard line where it's 2nd and 22, and here's the screen pass developing. Gaines has the catch, breaks one tackle, stumbles forward, still going, and he's down at about the 44-yard line. He stays in bounds, so a nice job of running by Gaines after he caught the screen pass.
It looked like Woodbury was ready for it. They were in the proper defensive position, but just unable to make the stop deep, and Gaines, again, with second and third effort, able to get downfield. He's shown that ability all year long.
So they'll spot it at about the 44-yard line where it's 3rd down and 13 to go. Definite passing situation here.
Yeah, a lot of room to the right side.
2 wideouts to the right. Claiborne's looking that way, airs it out on the underneath route, almost intercepted. Damian Green, the intended receiver, but Martin Johnson almost got his hands on the football and he broke up the play.
Johnson read that one well, didn't he? He just sat back in that safety position, saw the offensive man coming downfield, and said, hey, I'm going to just read this one perfectly, wind up getting myself an interception. Looking for Damian Green downfield 7, and the other 7 from Woodbury instead steps up Martin Johnson and nearly picks it off and would have clear sailing down the sideline.
Claiborne set to kick this football away. Decent snap, gets off the kick, and Sturdivant will make the catch. Jukes by 1, picks up a block, cuts it back inside, and there is a late flag that comes out on the return by Lamar Sturdivant.
That penalty flag out there came flying from a long distance away, but what you hope in a game like this between two clubs that are so well matched and so outstanding in terms of the record that it won't be marred by penalties, but we've seen a lot of yellow flags already.
Clip on the return as Dave Wildermuth has made his 4th call, and we still have 4 minutes and 32 seconds to play in this opening quarter.
Yeah, this has been a long one. 66 years. This is the 68th game. 34-30-3, and what is with Paulsboro on top in a very evenly matched series. 2 teams, of course, almost neighborhood rivals. A lot of these kids play midget football against each other in the same league down here.
That ball is going to be placed back at about the 15-yard line. So it is a 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think it's time we see Mr. Sturdivant, don't you? Lamar's turn.
Well, he is the single setback. And takes the handoff here. Tripped up right near the line of scrimmage as he goes down in a hurry. And that would be John Calness, the nose tackle, who tripped him up.
Fortunately for Paulsboro, Calness got that big right arm up and tripped up Sturdivant, or he was going to have a lot of yardage because the linebacker had been moved out of the way. And Lamar could have gotten downfield a ton had Countess not gotten the right arm up and made the stop.
Gain of about 1 on the play. 4:04 and the clock moving here in this opening quarter. No score in the ball game as each team comes in with 5-0 records. Second possession for Woodbury. Ryan Kent has his back split behind him. Sturdivant is hit and going down for a loss. And once again, John Calness is there. 2 straight hits for Calness.
Calness is there again. We told you he'd be at the nose tackle position, but they move the line, Mick, to the left or the right. They slide in different directions and loop the linebackers behind them. Last time he was sprinting to the right. This time he just slides down the left side, follows the action. Look at him move off that shoulder of the center and can find himself right into the hole in the backfield there and stop that one before Sturdivant had a chance to get moving at all.
Calness was second in the shot put at the Tournament of Champions, or Meet of Champions in track back in the spring. Versatile athlete. Here third and about 13, and they're going to run a little draw play. Sturdivant hurdles one, but can't get by the rest. And stepping into the hole is the linebacker, junior Warren Sharper.
Well, that was a tackle with enthusiasm by Warren Sharper, number 34. Again, you've got another well-coached club here in Paulsboro. We know we have well-coached club on the other side in Woodbury, and as we talked about, they have keys they've got to read. This time, linebacker C. Sharp just waiting and waiting, and he closes when he sees that it's not going to be a pass and drives him to the ground.
Sturdivant back near the goal line to punt this one away. Gaines is deep. This will bounce at about the 40, roll to the 45, and it'll be down at the 46-yard line, so they kind of kick it away from Gaines, and that actually might be a good punt. When you keep it out of his hands, he cannot return it.
Well, not only that, but they've gained now 12 yards on that exchange of punts. They had the ball at the 42 in their last drive and driven back with the penalty and a couple of penalties, in fact, and a play that did not get much yardage. So they've gained the 12, 14 yards by virtue of the exchange of punts.
There's Glenn Howard with the clipboard on the sidelines, as his team has played well defensively. Take a look at the comparative weights.
Yeah, they're both big. Let's just say that. Group 1, you don't normally see that kind of weight.
No, you don't. First and 10, 46. Here is Gaines trying to pop outside, picks up a nice block, but can't get by the second. And good closing by Lamar Sturdivant on almost an open field tackle.
Well, surprising that they went right at Sturdivant, although some coaches say, let's go with the best defensive player, and if we can beat him, then we can handle the rest of the team. And Sturdivant is considered not only the best defender for Woodbury, but maybe the best defender in all of South Jersey coming out of the defensive backfield, and showed you a fundamentally sound tackle on that play.
It'll be about second down and 5 yards to go. They'll mark it at the 41. Gaines on the toss here. Ooh, almost lost the football as he hits the ground hard across the 40. Not much of a gain there, so it'll bring up third down and about a long 4.
Teams look pretty evenly matched here in the early going, don't they? A lot of good hitting, and neither one seems to be in awe of the other. Most important thing, you've got to come out and say we're capable of winning this football game, or it's over.
Vern Sharper is under center. He's the other quarterback on the Paulsboro team. Hands off here. No, pulls it back. Keeps it himself. There's the option toss. And going down the sideline is Gaines, and he'll walk into the end zone. But the play has been blown dead.
That's, unless they blow a whistle, it's going to be a touchdown.
I don't know if the official was faked or what the call is here.
Yeah, the whistle had blown. A beautifully run option, wasn't it? Fooled everybody in the ballpark except us with our camera work.
Well, I had it all the way. Honestly, I saw the quarterback fake and pull it back out, but it might be an illegal substitution.
Yeah, he kept it, and then when he came out to the outside, pitched it to Haynes. We had perfect coverage. Glenn Howard's upset, but he's more upset with his own player, Gaines, wants him to calm down. You know, then it breaks the game. There's nothing you can do about it. The whistle blew. The play has to be blown dead. Gets everybody angry on the Paulsboro side, obviously. Here we go. Now watch it. He'll come down. It's an outstanding fake inside by Bennett. Just a super fake. Really sells it. Bennett sells it, And then, whoa, he got fooled. Now watch the pitch. Pitch comes to Gaines right here. And everybody else now stops. See him just standing around. He's coming down. Gaines down the sideline saying, what's happening? I'm going in for a touchdown. Against Haddon Heights, he had one like that on a fumble where the both teams thought the whistle had blown. He picked up the fumble and ambled in about 80 yards for a touchdown, the first touchdown of the ball game in that game in which they set the new state mark.
Well, I got to tell you, CN8 Comcast Network crew, yours truly and our camera
Right on
people
top.
were not fooled at all. And the play is blown dead. I'll tell you, that's tough.
Well,
Inadvertent whistle.
no, they sold the fake.
Repeat the down. Oh, that's tough. The touchdown that never was.
Or never will be. It was, but it won't be.
There was no flag. There was no penalty.
Nope, they just thought that Bennett had it on the inside.
That's tough. Well, two wideouts go to the right this time. And Demian Green. And also Rashawn Nelson. And this time the handoff goes straight forward and Bennett will carry and they will get it right. But nowhere near a first down.
Oh, I tell you what. They're going to go for it here, huh?
Well, 4th and inches, basically. Coming up here, they're about a good yard away. Not quite a yard.
It's uncharacteristic of Glenn Howard, let me tell you, not to punt the football here and play field position. Really surprises me.
Anthony Holloway comes in as an extra tight end. They'll go with a 2 tight end offense and backs in an I tandem. Sharper, hands off, straight forward, first down if they give him a good spot by Richard Gaines.
They got it plus a yard or so, and I guess Glenn Howard says, hey, gang, we're going to win this ball game. We're going to do it smash mouth right up front, beat that line, and the fans here finally settled down from that call where they thought they had the touchdown. Doing a lot of booing, but they're excited by seeing that first down keep the drive alive.
Time has expired here in the first quarter. And yes, the game is still scoreless, regardless of what the fans here at Paulsboro think. It's been a good one so far. No score on this one. We'll come back with second quarter action in a moment on CN8 and the Comcast Network, so stay with us. Welcome back, Mick Moninghoff and Mike Lindner this afternoon here at Paulsboro. Good look at the Paulsboro bench as they come on out for the start of the second quarter. Well, it would have been about a 39-yard touchdown run.
Well, pretty much what we expected. A couple of teams going to bang up on each other. But as far as the statistics in that opening period, they really favor Paulsboro. 48 total yards, 39 rushing, and 9 on the passing, and only 2 yards rushing credited to Woodbury so far.
Well, after the first down run by Gaines, 1st and 10 at approximately the 34-yard line. Wide out to the near side in Solomon Shear. And once again, your quarterback is the junior, Vernon Sharper, number 10.
Yeah, Claiborne and Sharper have been alternating duties there all year long. Paulsboro does not feature a starting quarterback except by designation. Someone has to go out there and start. But these two guys have alternated, played pretty much 50-50.
9th carry of the day for Gaines, off right tackle, and he slithers forward for about a good 5 or 6 yards.
Sean Harvey comes in, makes that stop, and had he not been falling, Gaines on that play, he could have picked up big yardage. Again, he got a super block from Troy Bennett. Bennett is doing just a great job so far as the leading blocker out of the backfield.
They're only going to give him about 4, so 9 carries for about 32 yards. And there is a good look at Sharper at quarterback, as he has a second down at about 6 here. Just underway, second quarter action. Hands off to Gaines, wants to bounce outside. Not much blocking, but breaks the tackle. Gets by a second, and this time he's going to go. Touchdown for Richard Gaines, his 13th of the season. A 30-yard touchdown run, and Paulsboro leads it by the score of 6-0.
Well, no whistle. They're not going to bring it back. It's going to be a touchdown.
They saw it all the way.
Yeah, they saw this one all the way. Interestingly, Bennett took him to the football, as he came in motion in that little stutter motion that's so popular today offensively. A lot of teams, college and high school, and he brought the whole Woodbury defense to the ball, but Gaines was able to slice through them and get in for the touchdown.
I saw a personal foul get whistled against the Thundering Herd on the score. And we'll see what Vern Sharper has going on here as he talks it over with his head coach, Glenn Howard.
Yeah, they exploded for that one, did they?
Yes, they did. Nice drive that started back at the 46-yard line.
Oh, it's a shame. They're going to have to burn a timeout here with the confusion. They've been kicking most of the year. Pretty decent statistics on their extra point situation. 17 out of 24, but here it appears they've decided not to kick and go for two, and they got a little confusion, maybe even a lot of confusion out there. Glenn Howard does not like confusion. He does not like blown assignments. He usually has them so well drilled you will not see this. We've seen him with uncharacteristic penalties in the early going, and now we've seen him here with the need to call the timeout. But watch this play here. The defense saw it. They followed Bennett to the ball, but he just stepped through three of them and then is able to break away from the last man, able to get a shot at him, Sean Harvey, and then down the sideline and in for the score. That's real. Whoops, takes a little hit there at the end, but I don't think he's too concerned about that. He's happy with the 6.
6-0 to score, and once again, Coach Howard is out there on this timeout. 11 minutes and 17 seconds to play in quarter number 2, and just like that, Paulsboro leads this ball game 6-0.
Well, you can bet Coach Howard told him, you're going to blow it and force us to take an extra timeout. You better get these 2 points.
6 plays to go 46 yards. The lineup for a 2, and Vern Sharper is under center with his backs in an I tandem. Long count. Hand off to Bennett, going straight forward. Did he get in? Yes. 2-point conversion. And Bennett gets into the end zone, and that makes the score 8-0.
Second, third effort, and that was Shirley's second effort from Bennett. He clearly was stopped. He kept his legs pumping, and then the most important thing, he took that arm and with that ball just wrapped inside that grasp, reaches it across, bangs it down, breaks the play, and gets the 2 points.
Bennett ranked 38th in South Jersey in scoring. Gets another 2-point conversion to his credit this season. He had one against Haddon Heights. And he gives his team a leg up on Woodbury with 11:17 to play in the second quarter. 8-0 Paulsboro.
Glenn Howard, one of those coaches that just works film constantly, always studying film, making a decision what to have as far as a game plan. He probably knows Woodbury's defense as well as they know it from the amount of time that he would spend on it, and then he knows what plays he wants to run and has his coaches ready to take a look, decide what kind of adjustments to make depending on any changes that Woodbury would have given him defensively.
Teeing it up was number 95, Reggie Lewis. I had a chance to talk to him before the ball game. He kicked the game-winning field goal last year against Glassboro to keep the streak alive and also give them their 5th consecutive Group 1 championship here in South Jersey. And I said, have you attempted a field goal since, Reggie? And he looked at me straight in the eye and said, no.
Well, he never tried one before that one either. That's the only one he's ever attempted and kicked in his lifetime, but made him a hero here in Paulsboro. They bronzed the shoe, by the way, and that's been featured all over town, moving from store to store. Local hero.
Sturdivant is deep. They will kick it away from him. This will be Seth Allen picking the football up and running straight forward, and he got up close to the 30-yard line. So a little return by Seth Allen. 1st and 10, Woodbury.
Well, now Woodbury has to show some composure. They got to forget the fact it's 8-0, one score, that's all it is, and stay right within whatever game plan they came here with and try and drive the ball down the field and maybe get their big guys, Sturdivant, to break one loose the way Gaines did. What they can't do is say, hey, Paulsboro's ahead of us. We got to hurry up and get a score. There's no need for that at all.
Take a look at the offensive line. 230 for Woodbury, 220 on the defensive front for Paulsboro, so that's almost even.
The biggest lines Woodbury's had in years.
The quarterback keep going nowhere. First shut off by Warren Sharper. Well, so many times you see that wishbone effective, but what really has to happen defensively is somebody has to spy the quarterback, somebody has to fill the lane on the pitch man, and Woodbury basically ran right into Warren Sharper.
Well, the problem was that they did not sell the fake inside, so they didn't hold the linebacker. Watch. We'll just turn and come, and not a good fake. Nothing there at all in terms of a fake, and allow Sharper to forget that first man. That's his assignment, and slide into the hole and pick up the quarterback. You got to sell it all. Remember the way Bennett sold it earlier. On that play, it was called back. Look at this.
Here's a pass by Sturdivant, and this will be intercepted. Picked off by Vernon Sharper, back at about the 45-yard line. Puts his head down, comes across midfield to the other 45. So they try the option pass by Sturdivant, and Vern Sharper picks him off.
Maybe an ill-advised throw. There's sometimes when you call that halfback option pass, the halfback has to know that if it isn't there, if it's not wide open, you're not really a quarterback. Don't take a chance and throw it. That's why it's called usually a halfback option pass, so he has the option to run or throw, and that time he would have been more well-advised to run the ball instead of throwing it. They had the men back. They had not fooled the deep secondary for Paulsboro, and that cost them the interception, the turnover.
1st and 10, call it the 44-yard line. Handoff straight forward for Bennett. Just a few, and that's all.
Yeah,
Good
and they're
play
not
up
worried
front.
about just two, because what they want to do is continue to pump him into the middle so they can set up that off tackle or the option play to the outside. They want those inside linebackers, Allen particularly, to just look at Bennett and believe he's going to run the football every time they make that move into the line.
Well, the defensive front for Woodbury has to tighten up here. Again, they go with 4 down linemen. This time, Jared Claiborne under center. So they're alternating quarterbacks like we thought they would. Hand off to Gaines, straight forward. Nothing there. It closed quickly. Seth Allen, the middle linebacker, steps up and shuts the door.
Seth's having a pretty good ball game so far. That's the 4th tackle we credited him for, and he's just not being blocked or handled in the middle there at all. Allen has been able to shuck off any blocker that's come at him and bang, get to the hole and get the stop. Watch how quickly he makes the move into here. He sees it coming, fights off the block, and then closes the hole and drives him to the ground. Had some help in there from one of the big linemen also.
We said the line would have to tighten up. The linebackers are stepping up here. It's 3rd and 7 at about the 41-yard line. Slot receiver to the left. They're looking that way. Underneath route for Gaines, incomplete. But a lot of pressure from Steve Smith and also Chuck Adair all over the quarterback, and Claiborne really never had a chance.
And bringing Adair from the linebacking spot that time is what really got the pressure on the quarterback, and he really threw it away. Claiborne did in order to avoid a sack. Instead, they'll get a chance to punt and pick up some yardage that way.
Claiborne will punt. Jarrett awaits the snap. Sturdivant is deep. And the rush almost got to him. Pretty good kick. Sturdivant makes the catch near the 15-yard line. Breaks one tackle, dives forward, and that will be it. Sturdivant got up to about the 20 before the lane closed. Good coverage on the kick team by Tony Marina.
Well, they survived the turnover so far. All they did was lose yardage. Lost about 25 yards as a result.
Timeout with the score 8-0. Paulsboro back with more in a moment on CN8, the Comcast Network. Welcome back. 1st and 10, and a quick toss across the middle, complete. Nice quick look into Sean Harvey, who makes his first reception of the day from Ryan Kent. And that'll help the offensive numbers, as Woodbury only had 2 yards total offense before that reception.
Hard to believe the way they've been scoring points all year long. They finished the whole first quarter with just 2 yards, and that was a well-conceived play, and credit Kent, who went back and waited and had the ball delivered just as Harvey made his turn on that hook.
An official timeout as you take a look at the Woodbury offense. It's been a little bit slow starting today, and you could blame it on the weather. You could blame it on the tough Paulsboro defense. But still, they shouldn't panic, Mike.
Oh, no, not at all. There's no need for that. This team's won too many games. This is the Courier first stop then. Mainland won their 6th game last evening. They're number 1 down in Linwood, New Jersey. And Woodbury sitting 11 and Paulsboro 3.
Deep toss here for Sturdivant, who wants to get outside, has a lead blocker in front of him, still going, and finally brought down at about the 36-yard line.
Sturtevant's one of those players, like all the good backs, Mick, that you'll see him pounding the line, maybe stop 4, 5, 6 times in a row. But sooner or later, he's going to get a seam. And when he gets a seam, that's when the outstanding talent shows, when he's able to break away and get downfield in a hurry. You don't get a touchdown from these great runners every play.
It's been slow starting for Lamar Sturtevant from the tailback position. 4 carries for just 1 yard so far. Here we're looking at 2nd down and 7. At about the 35-yard line. Deep toss, Sturtevant trying to turn a corner, breaks 1 tackle, and finally run out of bounds by Anthony Holloway as the sophomore made a nice hit.
Tried a little option play that time. Kent was fortunate to get rid of the football. Sturtevant got to enjoy, I think, his high school senior season as offense, because you talk to any of the coaches that are talking to him, and they're all just focusing in on his defensive play. So he may not get a chance to run the football much after this season. Woodbury hasn't beaten Paulsboro, since 1991. They'd love to come up with a victory here.
3rd and a long 5 here for Ryan Kent. Let's see if he puts it up.
Or runs a draw with Sturtevant.
Wide outs to each side, 2-step drop, timing pattern on a look in, and this will fall incomplete. Good coverage by Gaines, and no interference because you can bump him within that 5-yard cushion, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, I'll tell you what, he stretched to 5 yards, I think maybe a little bit downfield, 15 yards or so, but fortunately he did it by the Paulsboro bench. And you know, sometimes you don't get a flag on your own side.
Well, notice Martin Johnson, number 7, not complaining.
No, not at all. May have felt that ball wasn't going to be caught in any event.
Well, no flag nonetheless. And on 4th and 5, back at the 39-yard line, Sturtevant will set up camp. Back at about the 25, they'll punt this away. Not much of a rush. Goes off the side of his foot, but it will take a bounce and a roll, and it'll be down at about the 37-yard line. So good coverage downfield, and this ball down at the 37, and Paulsboro gets it back as we have 7:10 to play in the first half, and Paulsboro leads Woodbury by a score of 8-0.
Well, how about this in terms of the scoring, huh? 2,114 points to the opponent's 437 during the 56-game win streak. And, of course, remember, there's only been 3 games less than 10 points difference, which we'll get a chance to talk about which games they were later.
Here is Gaines, slides off 1 tackler, goes forward up to the 40-yard line.
Gaines has now vaulted over Sturtevant, right, for the lead in scoring in South Jersey. They were so evenly matched coming in. Gaines came in with the 78 points. Sturtevant came in with the 82, but that 78 all of a sudden has become 84.
This time Marcus Scott into the ball game is the wide out at the top of your screen. Demian Green slot to the far side, and Gaines will not get away. Once again, good play from the middle linebacker spot by Seth Allen. And also Chuck Adair from the weak side finished him off as well.
Making a lot of good plays defensively. The one they really got hurt on, well, they actually got hurt on 2, but one was called back because of the inadvertent whistle. And then on the other run that Gaines made for the TD. But watch the movement here. Good play by the defensive side at the right. And Adair makes the stop.
3rd down and 9. And Paulsboro will take a timeout.
Interesting that time as they came out with the wide receiver. Came out, took a look, didn't let. He's the one who called the timeout.
5 minutes and 52 seconds to play in this first half. Paulsboro leads Woodbury 8-0. Hope you're enjoying the high school football action today on CN8, the Comcast Network.
Have they shown this crowd? It's really good.
Welcome back. And as we mentioned just a moment ago, yes, the crowd is really good.
Really
but
big.
Take a look at both sides of the ball. Paulsboro has a lot of guys playing both ways. Actually, that was Woodbury having a lot of guys play both ways as well.
Huge crowd finally turned out here. It was a question whether or not they were going to get the 8,000 they expected, but it stopped raining right before the ball game, right before kickoff. And, well, they had sold so many seats in advance. I guess the rest of the people said, hey, I'm going to come out. It looks like it's going to stop. A lot of high school games in the area canceled today, and therefore some of those people spilled over into this area to watch this football game.
Yeah, there are fans all along what we will call fence row, as you see the coach, Glenn Howard, going off. And look at all the people behind him. There's no seats there. That's standing room. Vern Sharper wants to throw the football and does to Bennett. Complete on the backfield. Has a blocker in front of him and gets into the secondary. Nice block throw near midfield, and this will be Bennett all the way across the 40 to the 35-yard line.
Now, fortunately for Woodbury, Adair comes up with the tackle there. That was going to be another touchdown. Well, that was a beautifully executed screenplay. They waited just to the last instant, forced that pressure in on him deep, and then got it downfield.
37 yards on the pass play, and really watch the block thrown by the tight end, Paul Redcold.
He just waits and waits. Look at Gaines out on the left side, drawing some movement defensively, and then Bennett gets it. Excellent couple of blocks right there, and then he turned it back to the inside.
Well, this time Vernon Sharper will try to run the football to no avail. J.D. Barringer was in on the stop, and Sharper says, I don't like that play, Coach.
Not at all. It didn't work. They only like plays that work. Coaches and players and fans. Marcus Scott bringing the plays in. They run them in. Coach Howard calls essentially almost every play in the ball game.
Shear comes to the near side. Three-step drop by the quarterback. Wiggles away from one, completes to Gaines right near the 30-yard line. Nice sliding catch by Gaines, and he is a little slow to get up, but looks like he's all right.
Gaines has been the standout offensively for Paulsboro, as we expected. He does not get enough here for the first down. He'll leave himself a couple of yards shy, but once again, good action getting away from the pressure and then zipping that football. And I'll tell you what, Lamar Sturdivant has one more yard, one more step, and he's going to intercept that ball.
Looks like the quarterback, Vern Sharper, is shaken up. Appears to be his right leg or ankle, might have a cramp. As they check him out. It'll be 3rd and 2 with 4:36 to play here in this first half.
Yeah, we've got a close game here today. Paulsboro 8-0. The closest game they had in the streak, of course, as we've mentioned, was that Glassboro game in the South Jersey Group 1 final last season. 9-6 ending on the final play of the game.
Well, we talked about the, Mike talked about the winning streak, but Hudson, Michigan had the all-time record, and with a win this weekend, I believe, De La Salle of California can tie that.
If they played yesterday, last night, or very early this morning, they may have already done that.
But Paulsboro is creeping up with a 56 current game winning streak. It's currently the second longest in the nation as far as current streaks go. 2nd and 2 here with 4:36 to play, first half action. And Jared Claiborne back in the ball game. Red Cole's the tight end on the left, has the eye tandem behind him. And quarterback keep. I don't know if he got the first down.
I'm betting he has it. No need to even measure that one. Come on, guys. What's your bet? You say no, I say yes.
It's going to be close, Mike. That's why they're calling for the measurement.
Yep. I was wrong. I remember back in about 58.
Is that when you were coaching?
Yeah, no, not quite. Long time after that. Let's see if we're wrong here or if they have it. I said they had it. You said they're short. Yeah, it looks like you're right again.
I would not commit.
No.
And they,
I got it. Just the way I called it. An inch. Told you there was no need to bring the chains in.
I didn't even like the angle. Nonetheless, Paulsboro has a first down. 1st and 10. Call it the 20. Well, it's really outside the 25-yard line. I don't think the nose of the ball is touching the 25, but all things being equal, Jared Claiborne under center with his back to the eye, and the tight end goes in motion. Red Colts. Handoff goes to Richard Gaines, straightforward. Second effort, gets into the secondary.
And third effort.
Crosses the 20 down to about the 19-yard line.
Think Gaines is turned on for this ball game?
I think so.
He is tuned in and ready to go. Gaines an exciting player on any regular day, but in a big game like this, to have the kind of explosion he's showing us indicates that he's maybe moving from the good level to the great level.
Second and about 3 coming up as they're in the red zone once again. From about the 14-yard line, man in motion. Hand off to the fullback straight forward. This is Bennett still driving, and he got close to the 10. That'll be good enough for another first down.
Yeah, remember what I said. Bennett will be the starting tailback here next year, assuming the program continues the way they've got it planned. And you see the kind of running he's giving you out of that fullback position. Picture him next year with a fullback in front of him throwing a key block, and what he'll be able to do from that deep back position. He's got great power. He's got really good size. 6'1", 205-pound sophomore, and he just gets in there, gets that shoulder down, and drives forward.
Call it the 13. Hall goes in motion. Deep toss goes to Gaines and upended at the 10-yard line. And once again, it is the middle linebacker, Seth Allen. You know, Allen's size doesn't lend itself to playing the middle linebacker spot. A junior, 5'7", 165, but he's been able to get his hands on Gaines a lot today.
We have watched a lot of games on CN8 this year, and it's interesting. If there's been one movement we've seen defensively, a lot of coaches going with the smaller guys, the quicker guys at the linebacking position, because they're having them move with so many teams spreading you out all over the field. You got to be able to move and move quickly, and I think that's one of the reasons.
He'll spot it right at the 10. Once again, Vernon Sharper back in at quarterback, hands off to Gaines, and he will lose about a yard on this one. And who else? Seth Allen. Well, you talked about Gaines being charged up to play in this one. I think Allen is as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If there were trophies given out in first half performance, it would be going Gaines offense. It would be going Allen defense. These two guys going head-to-head here and really having superb games.
You saw the numbers. 73 yards so far for Gaines in this first half. About 2 minutes to go. 1:57 and the clock moving. Third down and 9 yards to go for the first down.
Oh, my goodness. Do they have a pitch to the left side for Gaines if they want to go in that direction? Nope, they didn't
Sharper
do it.
wants to throw. Now he's being flushed out of the pocket. Comes down the line to the right, turns the corner, puts his head down, and did not get to the 5. He's knocked down at about the 7-yard line.
First time I've seen maybe a defensive adjustment that was incorrect for Woodbury. They had moved Bennett off to the left side as a wing instead of being at the fullback spot, and they did not adjust in that direction. He would have had a kick-back block on the only man left. If they had pitched and gone in that direction with Gaines, they had a touchdown.
Sturdivant did a nice job of mirroring the quarterback, Mike.
That's what he's doing. Now he's got to watch and not get picked off and blocked. He gets in there in a hurry.
And Paulsboro will use its last time out here in this first half. 1:16 to play. Paulsboro leading by the score of 8-0 over Woodbury.
Remember how they talk about how teams take on the personality of a coach? You can see it right there. Mr. Calm in this, in the eye of the storm, so to speak. Storm hopefully over for the day, but he is just calm. He comes out there and he just says, okay, guys, this is what I want you to listen to. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to score. As a result, you don't get the players hyper and you don't get them excited.
Mike, interesting to note, 4th and 6 from the 7. They can get the first down near the 1-yard line.
I think they're thinking TD probably, because that would really be cutting it a little too thin, wouldn't it? Let's just go to 6 and get the first down. I don't think so. They want to score. The question is whether they're going to try and do it in the air, if they're going to try and run Gaines on the outside.
We talked about the overflow crowd here at Paulsboro. I'll tell you, it was a driving rainstorm at about 11 o'clock, and it was almost full at that time. And since then, the rain stopped and the crowd continued to come out, and they have outlined Bennett Fields here today.
And with the rain not coming down since about the beginning, looks like a good decision to play the game.
Absolutely. 4th and 6 at the 7 for Paulsboro. Sharper throws the football, knocked down, incomplete. And once again, with his hands on the football, Seth Allen.
Seth Allen and then Sturdivant crossing also. So they make the defensive stance, and with 1:11 to play, I think the name of the game here is try and hold on to the football. Don't worry about any score, but let's not have a turnover. Let's get into the locker room 8-0.
Okay, does that take the air out a little bit from Paulsboro?
Not at all, because they've been changing things field position. They keep moving down, and they've had that preached to them so often that in tight games you're going to do it with field position. Of course, here at the end, now they're going to try and knock a fumble and get a change of possessions, another chance to get in from down in deep.
Well, I think Woodbury probably plays ball control here and just tries to run out the clock. Nothing fancy.
Absolutely.
Hand off to the fullback. That is Seth Allen, straight forward, and the clock will continue to run. We're down to 1:03 to play in this first half.
You know, what you don't want to tell the team here, Mick, is you don't want to tell them, no mistakes, no fumbles, no mistakes, no fumbles. Seems to me every time you tell them that's when they do fumble.
That's right.
Just go out and go about your business.
Get a good look at the offensive unit for Paulsboro. They have done their job fairly well here in this first half. They lead at 8-0. And we'll probably have one more play. Deep toss goes to Sturdivant. Trying to turn the corner, get outside, and he is upended at about the 15-yard line. They say he stayed in bounds, so the clock will run, and they will not have to run another play.
Well, they got the first down, and they can let it go if they want. And instead, look at this. Woodbury says, all right, we're out deep enough. We'll call the timeout. We'll take another shot. Remember that highlight play we ran to Sturdivant in the opening today in that game from last season against Paulsboro, where he was hemmed in on the right side and then bounced back and went about 84 yards for a TD. I guess they have memories of that and say, we can do that from any spot on the field. Let's take a shot, one more play at least.
Well, they're going to mark it at about the 13. Good look at the Paulsboro defense, as you know, you don't want anything to happen here silly, so you probably pull the linebackers back a little bit.
Drop everybody off. Keep everything in front of you. You won't see them go into any kind of prevent, I don't think, but they'll certainly drop back a couple of steps.
Well, now that it has stopped raining, and you know that Ryan Kent does have a good arm.
I don't put it up in the air. I don't know about you. I want to take a chance on an interception down here and have this timeout you call blow up in your face. They could do it, obviously, but
well, we do.
Since I've said not do it, they probably will.
Greg Beverly has checked into the ball game. He's a tight end. There's Coach Howard.
Yeah, and Beverly with
the sidelines.
Real nice size.
So that tells me pass protection?
Yeah, he comes in as a tight end and usually gets downfield at 6'2". But you're right.
Option down the line. There's the toss. Sturdivant tries to cut it up around the corner. He'll gain a few and stays in bound, and the clock will continue to run. There is 11 seconds left, and do they call timeout again?
Yep, they called it again. That's great confidence in the offense, huh?
If you have timeouts, why take them in the locker room?
Well, that's one way of looking at it. But the other hand, you got to figure, as the coach, you want the players doing it, but as the coach, you want to figure the potential of error. That time they run the pitch to the outside. Suppose the quarterback Kent gets hit right before he throws it, and the ball goes bouncing around, gets picked up and carried in the other way. I'm not concerned about Sturdivant fumbling it. I'm concerned about that possibility of a hit right before the pitch on the option. Willie Murray out there, the assistant head coach. Willie, of course, had a superb career as a player at Woodbury High School in his secondary education days. I think more and more people have shown up as this game continued throughout the first half.
Take a look at the roster breakdowns for each team. Well, a few more seniors.
For Paulsboro?
Yeah, so more upperclassmen nonetheless when you look at it that way. Experience tells the story, and maybe that's why they have won. One of the factors in that 56-game winning streak.
A senior-laden team for Woodbury as far as the skill positions and the big linemen in the interior, and that's why they thought this could be their year. Look at this. Look at this.
Ryan Kent under siege, gets flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. He'll have the first down, and he runs out of bounds, stops the clock with 1 second left. So, hey, load up and throw it again.
Now you got to, right? You just tell him, make sure it goes way downfield on this one. And credit the quarterback, as we talked about. You didn't want an error, you didn't want an interception, and he did not see anybody open downfield, did Ryan Kent, and as a result, carries it himself and just gets out of bounds in time to give himself one more chance and pick up another first down.
I'm sure Glenn Howard in his 11th season is saying, I just want the half to end.
Make my adjustments in there at halftime.
We got a linebacker on a wideout out front. And the handoff goes to Sturdivant. Straight forward, breaks one tackle, gets into the secondary. Crosses the midfield stripe, but brought down from behind. A nice tackle by Troy Bennett. And now the first half comes to a close. Well, it has been an entertaining first half. And when you think about it, there was a missed touchdown by the officials, but 2 plays later, Paulsboro got back in the end zone, so it really didn't affect anything in this ball game, and Paulsboro leads it 8-0 over Woodbury as they go into the locker room as the first half has come to a close. We'll be back with more in just a moment right here on CN8, the Comcast Network, so stay with us. Welcome back. We are at halftime with Paulsboro leading by a score of 8-0 over the Thundering Herd of Woodbury as they try for their 57th consecutive win, and they try to add to their New Jersey State record. Let's take a look at our only scoring play of the first half, as on the second play of the second quarter, Richard Gaines takes it in from 30 yards out.
Well, Gaines was the featured runner all day long, as he has been all season. He stepped out of 2 tackles and then got away from the last defensive back and able to rumble in for the touchdown. The only scoring we saw other than a play that was called back on an inadvertent whistle. So Paulsboro has the score and then got the 2-point conversion. Bennett on a 2-yard run there. But look at the stats here. Yards rushing, Paulsboro 98-40. But remember, most of that 40 came in that last drive in the final minute and a half when Woodbury took advantage of Paulsboro dropping off deep. Total yardage 153-52. So that's closer to 153 to about maybe 20, huh? Take away that one drive.
And actually, penalties have not been a factor, and neither really have turnovers been a factor here in this first half as well.
Woodbury getting but 2 yards net in the first quarter and did not pick up a first down in that first quarter either. Starting to rain again here.
Yes, it is. The umbrellas are back out, and of course that will play a little havoc with the field conditions. Although the field is fairly new, it drains fairly well, but the more water you put on it, the tougher time it has going away. We're going away for just a moment. We'll come back with the start of the third quarter shortly. It's 8-0 at the half as Paulsboro leads Woodbury right here on CN8, the Comcast Network. Welcome back here to Paulsboro as we get set for the start of the third quarter with the home team leading by the score of 8-0 over Woodbury. Good look at the Woodbury sideline, and they have to make some adjustments here as they trail by 8. And still, it's been a pretty close ball game, even though they don't have the offensive numbers to support it.
Well, field position has been a key in this ball game so far, and Paulsboro's had the best of that. Woodbury unable to use their entire playbook because they've started their offensive thrust so deeply. Interestingly, here we see Woodbury kicking off for the second time. Remember, Paulsboro had deferred and got the choice. There's it is, 18-yard line for Woodbury, 45 for Paulsboro, and I think that's the key to the game. But remember, with Paulsboro deferring in the first half, Woodbury decided they wanted to go on defense, and as a result, Paulsboro gets the choice here and decides to get the ball. They'll start this half with the football also.
You saw Gaines and Green both deep, awaiting this kick from Lamar Sturdivant, who has it teed up at the 40-yard line, is just about set for third quarter action here at Bennett Fields in Paulsboro. Mick Moninghoff and Mike Lindner with you this afternoon, and the kick will go to Green at about the 15-yard line, breaks one tackle, and then goes straight forward. And not a bad return for Demian Green.
Well, we'll see what kind of adjustments now Coach Howard has made at halftime. Remember, he is known for that, the ability to take a look at what a team's doing defensively and change his game plan accordingly. He did not really have that many opportunities either in the first half to do that because of the turnovers and the exchange of punts.
Jared Claiborne will be the quarterback to start this first drive in quarter number 3. And there's the man who has carried the mail most of the time today, 73 yards for Richard Gaines. Quarterback keep, down the line option toss. Gaines makes the catch and then has to hang on to the football because he was under duress. J.D. Barringer.
Every one of the defenders that time on that option did exactly what they were supposed to do. There were 3 men, as you point out before, in the first half, and all 3 were able to make their move that time and get to the right man, right position, and wind up holding him to no yardage. Watch now, the quarterback will be taken. Good job done by Sean Harvey. That forced the pitch, and then they came in. Barringer winds up making the key after he'd been hit.
Loss of 1, call it 2nd and 11, back at the 25-yard line, and I think Mr. Red Coles jumped the gun.
He jumped the gun all right. Didn't leave any doubt about it. Again, uncharacteristic of this ball club to be making these kinds of mistakes.
Dave Wildermuth says false start. Illegal motion. And let's take a look. Actually, 54, the center, Joe Drexler, kind of
Well, he had already moved out of your picture. Red Coals had already moved out of here.
He was that far ahead.
Yep.
Okay. Although we have seen one false snap so far today. Well, the Paulsboro defense trying to psych up their fans as they trail just by 8 here in the third quarter. 2nd and 16. Back at the 19-yard line. Here is Red Coals making the catch across the middle. And he got back to just about the original line of scrimmage.
And Red Coals got a little assistance that time by one of the other receivers who was coming downfield. Looked like he may have run a pick. I think it was inadvertent. I can't imagine they have that sophisticated a thing. But Red Coals come down. It's going to be another receiver in the same area. And he bumps off one of the defenders, leaves him open on the underside as a result. There he is. The other receiver Gaines, who had already taken the defender and bumped him off.
3rd and 8. Just underway. First possession of the third quarter for Paulsboro. And we'll see what Jared Claiborne has working here with back split behind him. Goes back to throw on play action and overthrew Troy Bennett, incomplete. So it looks like the defense holds on this very first possession. Well, Bennett got strung out a little bit and the ball was thrown too far ahead.
And it shows you what a little thing like that 5-yard penalty can do to your offensive rhythm. Keeps them from keeping the drive alive, getting the first down, and as a result, if Sturdivant can either get a return here or it's a short punt, Woodbury will find themselves in good field position for their first offensive drive.
Good snap. Here comes the rush. Claiborne's kick goes straight up in the air. This will bounce and actually take a Woodbury roll. It'll be downed by Paulsboro, and I'll tell you what, the punt's going to cover about 2 yards.
2 yards net is always going to get out of it.
I don't think anybody got a hand on it. I think it just went off the side of the foot, straight up in the air.
It. That is the kind of break that can really hurt a team, and Glenn Howard knows it. You know, Howard has always tried to downplay this streak. Always argued, you know, someday it's going to come to an end and the sun will come up again tomorrow. Well, this rainy weekend maybe it won't, but he doesn't like this. See his team make uncharacteristic mistakes as far as penalties go, and now with a short punt like that.
Wishbone behind Kent, who goes back to throw on first down, loads up and throws to nobody. Incomplete. The ball bounced at about the 5-yard line as looked like Mason Allen and Sean Harvey were about 10 yards underneath that throw.
Yeah, that was a crossing pattern run by those two. One of them may have made a mistake, was supposed to circle upfield. But interestingly, that had to be a play that they had decided during halftime that they felt they could get open. And as a result, they come out in their first offensive play. They've already decided that's the one they're going to run. I still say it comes down to Sturdivant eventually. They've got to go and go to their featured man offensively.
31-yard line. We're at 2nd and 10 for Woodbury. Kent down the line of the option, hit and going down. He'll be tackled back at about the 37-yard line. Good pursuit down the line. And Solomon Shear, the defensive end, all 6'8" of them in on the tackle.
Shear gets credit for it, but I think that's when you got to credit to a linebacker and around 2 or 3 defensive linemen as they just closed so quickly. Kent had no chance at all to get rid of the pitch. He's not going to be able to get rid of it all. He had to hold on to it. Countess was there first, then Shear. And then finally they get help from Vaughn Claiborne also, number 58. So they closed so quickly on there, no chance at all for the option. Interestingly, how deep they were running that option. Kent found himself about 4 yards, 5 yards back in the backfield. You don't want that to happen.
From the 36-yard line, 3rd and 16. 2-back set. And Kent goes back to throw, a little out pattern right in front of the Paulsboro bench, and they say it's incomplete. Seth Allen, the intended receiver. It'll be 4th down and about 16 to go at the 36-yard line.
So what do we have there? No time at all, and that right here from the good field position. At no time did their featured man get a chance, Lamar Sturdivant, to touch the football. They wanted to run the one play to him, but didn't get it to him because of the closing of the defense.
Oddly enough, that's exactly the way the first possession started when he didn't get his hands on the football in the first possession of the ball game. Sturdivant is back to punt at midfield. And Richard Gaines is set to return it. Good look at Gaines, who is set up at about the 15-yard line. He'll try to pooch this kick to the sideline. It'll bounce and roll and take a great roll. Goes inside the 10. They'll down it at about the 7. So call it maybe the 8-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Paulsboro after the punt. Sturdivant did his job. 8-0 to score here as we're just underway third quarter action at Paulsboro. 8:42 to play in the third quarter.
Well, field position was the key in the first half, and we'll see if it plays the big role here in the second half. Woodbury unable to do with it anything positive when they got the good field position. Now Paulsboro pushed way back. Let's see what they can do to get out of this hole.
Claiborne is the quarterback. Hands off to the fullback, first back through, and Troy Bennett maybe gets a yard. That's about all. He got close to the 10.
Mason Allen that time closed real quickly. A good job to submarine the blockers and get underneath them to make that tackle.
They'll give them 2 up to the 10-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 8.
Lots of running room to the right side. You figure maybe they come this way with a quick power pitch to Gaines out of the I formation and let Bennett out front and block.
2 receivers go right. The play goes that way, but it is Gaines, and he is caught by 4 tacklers and going down back at the 5-yard line. That time, Sean Harvey, one of the first to get to him.
Woodbury figured that play also. I'm staying up here with the wide side of the field. Paulsboro decides to go in that direction. They don't pitch it. They're going to try and get Bennett out there in a block. But look how quickly they close. Outstanding job done that time by Stites, number 16, who was in quickly. The junior having a big tackle, credited to him now.
Ball goes back to about the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 11. So a big pass play down here coming up for Jared Claiborne and company. Straight show pass on a 5-step drop with some time. Airs it out, overthrew the intended receiver, Shear, and it's incomplete. Sturdivant was in coverage, but the ball was nowhere near the intended receiver.
You know, Solomon Shear went down, ran the curl pattern about 20 yards downfield and was well covered by Sturdivant, who was back there, and ball was overthrown in any event.
Well, they should get good field position with a punt coming up here by Paulsboro, should Woodbury. Sturdivant sets up at the 38-yard line as Claiborne is back to kick in his own end zone about 5 yards deep. Here comes the rush. He got it off, and there's a good kick. Sturdivant will try to field it on one hop and does. Sturdivant still moving. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, goes forward. And good field position for Woodbury at about the 25-yard line. We have a timeout. 7:08 to play. 8-0. Paulsboro leads this one in the third quarter. We'll come back with more in a moment on CN8, the Comcast Network. Welcome back. I misplaced the football. It's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. We have an audible coming up here by Ryan Kent as he hands off. There's flags on the play. He's under duress and going down on about a 3-yard loss, but
Mixed
flags
signals.
came out. So a loss of about 3, but we'll sort this one out as Dave Wildermuth will have the call. Illegal shift goes against...
Yeah, they nearly bumped into each other as they were coming, both men in motion.
I think it'll be declined by Paulsboro as the play went from -3 to decline, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 13 back at the 33. 7 minutes exactly to play in this third quarter as Woodbury's trying to get back on track. And after the first play in this drive, they're going 3 yards in the wrong direction. Ball at the 33-yard line. I formation. Sturdivant, the deep man in the eye. Here's a quick lateral pass to Harvey. Complete. Looks for running room. Falls forward. The ball comes loose, and Paulsboro has it. Paulsboro has the football. And it is Vernon Sharper coming up with the fumble recovery.
He's alert. He takes advantage of the mistake by Harvey as the ball's knocked away from him after an interesting play. Quick pass to get out of that 8 in the box that Paulsboro's been playing in the middle. They'll get the ball to him, and it may have been a lateral, you're right, but he comes downfield, tries to take advantage of a couple more. Bennett hit him and knocked the ball loose, and then Sharper, right on top of it, makes the fumble recovery.
So Sharper with a fumble recovery. 2-0. In the turnover department, Paulsboro has an interception and now a fumble recovery, and Gaines is hit at the line of scrimmage, and the second effort will get him about 2 tough yards.
So twice now we've seen Woodbury with the good field position, and both times really unable to do anything with it.
Mike Garcia was in on the stop on Gaines.
There's some tired young men at the end of this ball game. Really, all the banging seemed to be going in from end to end. And when that happens, it's usually 2 or 3 defenders at least on the tackle. Backs take a real pounding.
Call at the 26-yard line, 2nd and 9. And Sharper hands off here to Gaines. Hit at the line of scrimmage, and another second effort to get back to about the line of scrimmage. And that's all. I'll tell you, good hitting going on by the Woodbury defense. And once again, Seth Allen, the middle linebacker, right in the middle of it.
Super job. He got some help out there from Chuck Adair and a few other people. They're not trying to bring him down just with one man. Looked like Gaines may have missed the hole that time as he got to the line of scrimmage and ran right into his blocker. Coach is upstairs on top of the box went crazy. Thought he was not moving properly and finding the hole.
3rd and 9 here. And this ball's going to be intercepted. It's picked off. And Johnson on his way into the end zone on the interception return for the touchdown. And we're 2 points away from having a tie ball game. Martin Johnson stepped in front of the intended receiver and takes it back for the score.
We've talked about that all day with the passes that we've seen thrown both ways to the sideline and how the defensive backs are able to play off a couple of steps because of the footing. They want to make sure that they don't get beaten downfield, and he just read that pass all the way, had no problem at all. The only problem he was going to have was would he get into the end zone. I thought sure he'd break to the outside, went back to the inside, and stepped right over the last man, had a chance to make a tackle. I thought that was Gaines. We'll have to wait and see when we get the replay. And, well, they said they weren't going to kick in any event. They've got to go for the 2 here just to tie it up.
You see the players saying to quiet down to their home fans as Kent is under center. He's throwing a timing pattern for the 2-point conversion. Johnson! And we are tied at 8. 5:11 to play here in this 3rd quarter. Nice little fade pattern to the corner of the end zone, and it is Martin Johnson for 2.
Oh, it's Johnson to Johnson, huh? He gets it all. Made the great play defensively to come up with the interception. He just dropped off defensively and read the quarterback all the way, saw the pattern, and was able to pick it off and get downfield.
Let's take a look at the extra point first.
Yeah, here's the PAT. Watch him. He's got to catch it. Now he's got to tip. He got 4 steps. He only needed the 1, but he got 4 steps inbounds to come in with the 2-point conversion.
So Johnson making good on the 2-point play. As Woodbury has tied up the ball game. We are 8-8 here with 5:11 to play in this 3rd quarter. Let's take a look at the interception return.
Sharper makes the throw, but look, he had the 1 man downfield, and Johnson read it perfectly all the way. Now watch, see who doesn't make the tackle. That's Gaines, I believe, that he stepped through. I thought the path was to the left. He decided to go right up the middle and did it. Beautiful interception and an outstanding run, and then the catch by Johnson to tie this game at 8.
Well, you get a good look at Demian Green, who's back deep for the kick.
Paulsboro has not found themselves in this position in a long time.
Sturdivant's kick, and over end, Gaines gets under it at about the 12-yard line. Gaines coming straight forward, has a wall of blockers, slips and falls. He's hit from behind and goes down at about the 30. So 1st and 10 for Paulsboro at the 30-yard line.
Love the way special teams came down that one time. There was one guy led the way and came down and just broke up the group that was the leading charge on the blocking. He didn't worry about making the tackle at all, and that's what allowed the rest of the special teamers to climb right in there and make the stop.
Well, the far side has finally come to life for the Woodbury faithful. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Gaines picks up 1 block, can't get by the surge, and ooh, he is pummeled. And Garcia laid the final hit.
Yeah, Garcia put the exclamation point on it, but there's some great closing by the defense. They're adjusting so well to where Paulsboro is going. Watch the quick pitch. Bennett will get out in front, but what you want to see is how fast the Woodbury club is able to close. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, there comes Garcia at the end. He'll get credit by a lot of people for the tackle, but he just did the little pounding job there at the end.
Nice hit by 33 Behringer on the initial stop. Sets up 2nd and 10, the ball at the 30-yard line. And Sharper, who threw the interception, stays in the ball game. This is a quick flare out and a nice tackle by John Stites. They got the ball to Troy Bennett, but Stites is there from the Sam position to slow him down.
Well, not only did he read it, but he did not hesitate. He played aggressive, did Stites. When he saw it was going to be the screen, he just said, where's the guy that's going to get the ball? And I'm going to close to him quickly. There's Bennett, and here comes Stites. He sees it. It's as if he was shadowing him all the way, and comes in and makes the shoestring tackle.
3rd and 15, back at the 25-yard line for Paulsboro, and now, I won't say they're reeling, but...
No, they're not reeling. This team doesn't reel.
They're shaking a little.
They're surely taking a breath or two.
2 wide outs to the near side. The tight end is split wide to the right. Sharper wants to load up. He is hanging it up there, and it's almost intercepted again by Martin. It falls incomplete at midfield. Well, the intended receiver was Rashawn Nelson, who comes off the field, number 18, but that ball was almost picked off again.
Well, they had so far to go for the first down, they had to really throw it further, and I think Sharper wanted to. Awfully difficult to get it downfield that far, and with the defense playing as well, and get it between a short defensive back and one that's playing deeper.
Well, on 4th and 15 from the 25, the punt unit is on as Jared Claiborne is deep. Sharper today, 3 of 6, 41 yards and an interception, and went back for the touchdown. There's Sturdivant awaiting the kick as he is back right near the midfield stripe at the 48-yard line. Here's a snap to Claiborne. They come after it. The kick is away. It'll bounce near midfield, and thinking better of it is Sturdivant. It'll be down at the 49-yard line by Paulsboro, and that's where Woodbury takes over. The Thundering Herd tied up the ball game with 5:11 to play in this 3rd quarter. And we are deadlocked at 8.
And remember, they've done it defensively. They still really haven't gotten their offensive game off on track at all. So we'll see whether or not now that they can breathe a little easier with the game tied up, that they can do something a little more aggressively offensively.
From the 49-yard line, they are 51 yards away from taking a lead in this ball game. 5-step drop and a straight show pass, and now Kent tucks it back inside. He's going to run, crosses the 50, bounces off one tackler, still going. And he's all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Well, Ryan Kent loves it as he gets back to the huddle. You will not see it often that Paulsboro will have a player apparently handled and have him get away from him. But Kent sees nobody open. He finds the opening, slides forward. Now watch. It looks like Countess almost gets him from behind, but then Sheard is unable to get a real hand on him. Sharper can't do the job. Gaines doesn't get him, and he's finally driven down. So 4 of the Paulsboro players unable to stop Kent on that play.
2nd down and about 4 yards to go for the first down.
Woodbury calls the timeout. Talk it over.
So Woodbury takes a timeout with 2:34 to play here in this 3rd quarter. We are tied at 8. And the streak for Paulsboro is on the line. 56 games and holding.
Now, remember last year, it looked to a lot of people who were in attendance at the game that Woodbury had a shot then to end the streak, made a couple of turnovers. Paulsboro, characteristically, as they have so often, took advantage of them and came up with that victory, 28-21. Then the one we talked about, Glassboro, end of 97, 9-6, but you have to go back to 94 for the only other game that was close in the streak, and that was an 18-10 victory over Collingswood, 1994. So Paulsboro is a team that has not had too many tests that they've had to come up big towards the close of a game and pass. But this is a test that they're facing right now from this Woodbury club.
Kent leads them up. And I think he's changing the play here at the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line on 2nd and 4. Has backs in a tight wishbone set. Hands off here to Mason Allen, who hurdles close to the first down mark as he's up near the 40-yard line. Mason Allen hasn't carried the football much at all today. It's only a 2nd carry.
3rd and short. for the Herd.
Well, I'd get back in that formation and I'd have the ball go on the Sturdivant to pick up the yardage necessary for the first down. Instead, they're using him more often, it seems, today as a blocking back.
Call it 3rd and 1 at the 41-yard line. Against the 5-man front, Calnus over the football. They need 1 yard for the first down. Quarterback hands off to the first back through, and they have it. They had to get to the 40, and that is where Seth Allen wound up with the football.
First down, the Herd.
So the Herd has their first down right at the 40-yard line after the 1 yard run by Seth Allen.
With 1:42 to play in the third quarter.
Tell you what, it's a fast-moving quarter down to a minute and be a minute and 30 or less by the time they start this play.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Paulsboro fans trying to rile their defense. Quarterback option, fumbles the football, and Paulsboro recovers. It's going to be Reggie Lewis, the senior, falling on the football right near the 47-yard line. Well, they tried to come option down the line, and the quarterback was basically hounded by 2 defenders, and Lewis caused a fumble and then pounced on him.
Remember, we talked about that earlier, the inability to get that pitch off if you're going to get pressure from that defensive line. And Kent has just been fortunate a number of times to just get the pitch off. This time he is unable to do it as the pressure comes. Lewis not only made the quarterback Kent fumble, but then he comes up on top of the fumble and recovers it. Big break for Paulsboro. They've got to take advantage now. They've gotten out of the hole that they found themselves in field position-wise this half.
Claiborne wants to throw on first down, has a man open and overthrew Demian Green, incomplete. Green was behind the coverage, had everyone beat, but the ball was overthrown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great coaching call. Anytime you have a turnover like that in a big game with the excitement and the adrenaline rush, the other team is down for just maybe an instant. So what do? Fake, have everybody close, try to make the big defensive play, and your man winds up wide open and just unable to connect. That could be a big break for Woodbury.
2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line. Shear goes wide to the far side along with Marcus Scott. Maxon and I tandem against the 4-man front. Quick look in. This is intercepted. It was juggled and still picked off by Harvey. Sean Harvey picks off the pass, and it's going the other way just like that.
Turnaround's fair play, apparently. That's twice now defensive backs have read the decision by the Paulsboro quarterback perfectly. This time it's Harvey. Watch, it's just going to spin around. This will be Claiborne this time. Sharper had thrown the last one, but this time he just turns, throws, and it's a beautiful pick by Harvey. You had to cover 2 men out there.
Shear was the intended receiver, and Harvey juggled it on the way down and still held on.
Yeah, he came down on his back, fortunately for him, and therefore able to haul the pass back in safely.
We'll call it the 47-yard line, and after all this, the ball basically has stayed where it was on each possession, but it's just the teams who have the different hands on it. Here's a quick look inside. And Bennett intercepts at the 40-yard line.
The sophomore comes up with a big play defensively here, Bennett. And they turn it around again. 2 teams, 5-0. 1 team with 56 straight. And errors seem to be the name of the game today.
Well, I think each quarterback in a tie ball game feels the heat a little bit, wants to get something done in a hurry, and they're forcing the football a little bit.
Well, and I don't think they're playing characteristic football, either team. Bennett just read that one perfectly. I think they both really are primarily running teams, overpowering rushing games, and instead they're trying to do it in the air.
1st and 10, 42-yard line for Paulsboro. Deep toss goes to Richard Gaines, hit hard, and going down. It is, once again, Seth Allen all over him on the play. 47 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
Allen, what a strong game defensively. He must be shedding any blockers assigned to him at all because he's not getting stopped. He sees the play, he gets to the ball.
33 seconds and the clock is moving. You see the turnovers, 4-2, Paulsboro having their share here today. Quarterback pitch goes to Gaines, Gaines trying to get outside, turns the corner. He's close to the first down marker, but just short. And now a late flag comes out.
Late hit out of bounds. Sturdivant had made the hit. He had done it safely. He had stopped any further penetration downfield. But then the second defender came in. I'm not sure if it's Mason Allen or whom. It doesn't really matter, except the Paulsboro is going to get the additional yardage.
Well, only 9 seconds ago here in this third quarter.
Turnovers, penalties, mistakes. The team that makes the fewest usually wins.
We've had a lot of action, but yet only one touchdown in this third quarter. And that was Martin Johnson's 32-yard interception return for a touchdown. 15-yard penalty.
The big change there, isn't it? Face mask, what they call it, huh? 15 additional yards. 33.
For Paulsboro, it's their first down of the second half.
That's hard to believe, too.
The defense for Woodbury has played tough. That penalty hurt him. Quarterback, play action, pass, slip, fell, and here's the interception by Sean Harvey, who falls after the interception.
Harvey again, huh?
It was.
I think this is the kind of game with these two teams. Maybe you just sit back, watch them change it over, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, something's got to happen in quarter number 4. We have played 3, interceptions abound, but the scoreboard reads 8-8 with Paulsboro and Woodbury. Hope you're enjoying the game here on CN8, the Comcast Network. Buckle up for a great fourth quarter coming up.
This half.
Welcome back here as we are getting set for the start of the fourth quarter. Mick Moninghoff and Mike Lindner with you this afternoon in a tie ball game, 8-8. And I'll tell you, this has been, well, basically everything that we thought it would be, Mike.
Well, I think the question that I've been posing as we start this quarter is how many times has Sturdivant touched the ball this half? Not many at all. And in fact, they keep running him out of the wingback position, which surprises me. I still say that's the strength of their team. Got to get to him sooner or later.
Oh, fumbled snap, and a quarterback goes straight forward. So Ryan Kent fumbles the snap and just goes forward for about a yard.
Yeah, you, the offensive coordinators, the coaches, Mick, what do you think? Tell the quarterbacks don't throw the ball anymore?
No, I don't think they tell.
Yeah. Yeah, you wait and see where they mark it. I think he may have picked up 5 or 6, and 5 or 6 a few times, and all of a sudden you keep getting first downs going up and down the field.
Well, it sets up a big third down here. Third and about 5 to go. The ball resting near the 30-yard line. Call it the 31.
Back to that wishbone.
Harvey under center. Fakes to the first, back through, comes down the line, tosses to Sturdivant. Not much running room, and he goes down in a heap. Cooper did a nice job of containment on the near corner.
And Sturdivant did a good job to get 1 or 2 yards out of it, but they've got a Reggie Lewis just laying there. They need him in the ball game. He gets up. Some of them may be getting just a little bit tired at this point in the ball game. An exciting game, if not a well-played game.
So back to punt is Sturdivant. Gaines is deep at about the 40-yard line. Good look at Gaines, ready for the return. No rush. They set up for the return and a good kick. It'll bounce and take a roll, and Gaines will get out of the way. He should have caught that football. It'll be down.
Red Raiders will take over first.
Well, back at about what, the 30-yard line? 25.
They'll put it at the 25. So Sturdivant doing a good job with that punt in any event.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing I've heard from the people behind us in the press box is 8-8 ball game. This one's headed for
OT.
overtime.
OT.
Well, now it's going to be interesting to see if the quarterbacks really get conservative. Now, you mentioned maybe you don't want to throw the football. I don't think you get away from your game plan. If your pass is there, go ahead and throw it. Just don't force the football.
Well, they've been forcing it all right, at least in this quarter.
1st and 10, 25-yard line, and once again, it is Sharper.
And jump on the line again. That time one of the up linemen, Brian Relation, I believe, decided to go a little too quickly. Cost him 5.
False start on the offense.
I'd have to go back in the statistics book quite a ways, I think, to find a Paulsboro starting team that has had as many errors as the Red Raiders have had today. Tough way to run an offense starting 1st and 15 as many times as they have today.
Ball goes back to the 20-yard line where it's 1st and 15, 10-21 on the clock here in this 4th quarter. We are tied at 8. The streak is on the line. Deep toss goes to Richard Gaines. Tries to get outside, and Richard didn't have much running room at all.
Harvey, what a job he does there. Handles the blocker, fights the blocker off when Gaines commits and is able to make the tackle. That's outstanding corner play from Sean Harvey on that opportunity.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 15. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. We talked coming in that the defense for Woodbury has only allowed 13 points all year. They've had 3 shutouts through their first 5 games. And outside of the 1 touchdown, that has been it for Paulsboro today.
They close so quickly. They just have great speed from the corners, and the front 4 has done a super job.
Deep toss, Gaines wants to go student body right, turns the corner, had a blocker ahead of him, and he'll be about 3 yards shy, maybe 2 of a first down.
Depends on the spot, 2 or 3 yards, but in any event, again, they closed on him. Looked like he was going to get running room upfield. That's the kind of play that all season long Gaines has gotten to that position, been able to break free and get in for the TD. Not here. They closed downfield.
Good look at Coach Howard on the sideline as his team is tied 8-8. The winning streak on the line at 56 and holding. 3rd and 2, we'll call it. Looks like a quarterback audible for Sharper. Hands off to Gaines. He'll have the first down and more. Up close to the 39-yard line.
Good choice if it was an audible. They felt they could get it on that power dive off the right side, and that's what they audibleized, and then that's what they ran, and they get the first down, keep the drive alive.
Well, Paulsboro with another first down. Call it the 36-yard line.
8:45 play.
Time to kickstart the offense, if you will, if you're a Paulsboro fan. 1st and 10 at the 36. Gaines off right tackle, not much there.
Most of the drives here, Mick, what they've been able to do is put them in a 2nd and 10, a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, which makes it very difficult to get your offense going downfield. They've had such good defensive play on the first downs that it's given them the kind of ability to loosen up just a bit and stop Paulsboro from getting those big runs.
Call it the 41-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 7. And we have an official timeout as Marcus Scott is fixing a shoe, and now he will come out to the wideout spot. .7:53, and now the clock moving. An 8-8 ball game. Paulsboro with the football. Quarterback fake, deep toss, goes to Gaines, sidesteps one, wants to get outside but can't. And once again, Sturdivant is there to make the tackle at the 45-yard line in the open field.
Sturdivant plays almost like a short safety. They've got a deep safety, but he's back there, and he seems to be the guy that goes from sideline to sideline. If the offensive back is able to penetrate and get downfield, then he will get to the point, make the tackle. That allows these other guys to be very, very aggressive, as Harvey was trying to make an aggressive play and stop him, didn't. And as a result, they had to rely on Sturdivant. It's the ability to explode out of a defensive position and get there in a hurry, which has excited so many college coaches.
3rd and 5. Gaines has been busy. It's been all Gaines after the first down. Demian Green slot to the far side. Gaines sidesteps one in the backfield. He carries for the first down and more across midfield to the 49-yard line.
That's all Gaines on that play. He was stopped in the backfield, then stopped about at the line of scrimmage, and then is able to just fight forward and keep the drive alive again.
29 carries for 103 yards for Richard Gaines.
So he's now over 1,000 on the season, come in with 950.
That's correct.
Not a bad year.
Not at all. And you still have 3 more games to play.
Plus the playoffs.
1st and 10. Call it the 49-yard line for Paulsboro in an 8-8 ball game. Tight end comes in motion and sets up on the left. That is Red Colts. Handoff, Gaines, straight forward. Not a lot there. Got maybe a yard on the play. And once again, as we said all day long, Seth Allen is there on the hit.
A lot of great players have played in these ball games between these two teams. On the Woodbury side, recent history, Coach Boyd handled a guy by the name of Jimmer Bundy, who went on to play at Pitt. That was during their 29-game winning streak. Eddie Walker went to Rutgers. The list just goes on and on for Paulsboro. We'll have a chance to talk about their great players in a minute.
5:44 on the clock moving. Gaines straight forward, crosses the 45 down to about the 43-yard line.
I announced in the press box here, got a big scream when they talked about a college score today.
That's right.
What was it, Temple 49 and Rutgers 7?
Something
and
like that.
And that game wasn't over yet. And, of course, the big cheer was because Kevin Harvey, the hero of the last 4, well, actually he had a redshirt year, but before that for 4 years here at Paulsboro playing in that ball game.
I thought they announced that just for me because I knew it was my alma mater.
Ah, okay.
5:11 and the clock moving here in the 4th quarter.
Mike Bell and Wayne Hampton playing at Rutgers from Paulsboro.
Looking at a 3rd and about 4. Richard Gaines is going to lose. Back at the 45-yard line, Lamar Sturdivant made the hit.
That's a Sturdivant hit. You're absolutely right. He didn't even wait this time to see if he had to play short safety. He decided to close the gap, shoot the gap himself, get the shoulder in, and drive him down. We talked about it maybe the last year that he plays offense because he's such a dominating force on the defensive side of the football.
Down to 4.5 minutes, and now Paulsboro ready to punt this football away. Back at the 45-yard line is Claiborne. Claiborne with the kick. It'll go end over end and bounce. Sturdivant will let it roll. It'll be down deep in Woodbury territory. Well, we have 4:19 to play in an 8-8 ball game. Hope you're enjoying it here on CN8, the Comcast Network. We're not done yet by a long shot. Stay with us. Welcome back here to Paulsboro. Kent at the controls, 1st and 10 at about the 15-yard line. Hands off to Sturdivant and wants to get outside. Now reverses his field, spins off one tackler, and got maybe 2 yards after all that. Green was in on the stop, coming up from the corner position.
Now they closed quickly on him. It looked like he was going to get 6, 7, 8, 10. What that was sideways to sideways, though, and he winds up just getting the 1 out of it. Finally twists and turns and down, and Damian Green is the man that finally collared him, number 7.
Mick Moninghoff and Mike Lindner with you, and notice the pensive look on the fans here as we are inside 4 minutes in an 8-8 ball game. Woodbury has the football. 5-step drop and a short pass. Intercepted by Bennett, his second pick. Bennett down the sideline to the end zone. Touchdown! And Paulsboro has the lead with 3:34 to play.
Sophomore makes the big play.
That's his second pick of the day, Mike.
But none bigger than this one. As he rumbles in for the 21-yard touchdown off the interception. What'd I tell you about putting the ball away and don't throw it?
Well, I don't know if he
Well,
really
they decided they've been doing it all day long. It was their game plan. He had 2 men deep. Turnovers now, Woodbury 5, Paulsboro 3. Remember last year, 28-21, and 2 key turnovers by Woodbury in that ball game.
So the hero right now is Troy Bennett. And I think they're deciding if they're going to go for the two-point conversion. Bennett with his second interception of the day. And that one went 21 yards for a touchdown. And the streak is still alive.
Bennett's one of those players that anybody down in this area, we'll watch it here. Kent steps back. He's going to have two receivers deep. Tries to put it, I'm not sure to which one, but Bennett actually was up in front of them all. Just dropped from the linebacker position, found himself in the right place at the right time, and then just comes in, lowers his shoulder. He really didn't have to do anything here as he was into the end zone already.
Mason Allen was the intended receiver, but the ball never got there.
Longtime fans from Paulsboro enjoyed that one.
Well, let's see if they go for a two-point conversion. It looks like they're going to try the kick. And Paulsboro wants a timeout. They are not happy along the sideline as the coaching staff didn't want to burn that one.
No, not at all. Remember last time they had to do it also on an extra point on the first touchdown.
Two-point conversion coming up. 3:34 to play, but Paulsboro leads this one 14-8. Back with more in a moment on CN8, the Comcast Network. Welcome back with an important conversion coming up here. Now, I guess Paulsboro, Mike Lindner, has called timeout. They're discussing if they're going to go for one or two. It's a 14-8 score right now. What would you do?
They're going for two. What would I do? Go for two.
Well, I'll tell you what. The defense has not been scored on if you're Paulsboro today because the only touchdown came on an interception return by Martin. So if I can kick one and rely on my defense to win the game, as they have all day, that's what I'd do.
Going for two.
But what do I know? They're going for two.
Well, they know Woodbury does every time, so.
Claiborne back to throw with some time. Guns it, incomplete. Paul Redcole's the tight end, the intended receiver, and it all goes for naught. So maybe I look like a genius. 3:34 to play, and it's still 14-8, but Paulsboro leads this ball game, and time is a factor now for Woodbury. Let's take a look at the conversion.
Yeah, he wanted to hit Redcole's, who had gone right across the end zone line, the goal line, and just hooked, but he just threw it too deep, too low, and is unable to make the connection. Redcole's was open.
Well, now it comes down to special teams and defense, Mike.
Now, defense has been the name of the game here today. Oh, really, the name of the game, I think, has been turnovers, obviously, both ways. Neither team will be proud of this game except when they realize that the turnovers to a large degree came as a result of the hard hitting and how evenly matched these clubs were. But when they first think about the game afterwards, particularly the team that loses is going to think about turnovers.
Let's recap. It's been close all day. Second quarter touchdown for Gaines from 30 yards out. It was 8-0 Paulsboro at the half. Third quarter, Martin Johnson, an interception return, 32 yards for a touchdown to tie it up as they made the two-point conversion. And now Troy Bennett's 21-yard interception return for a score puts Paulsboro back out front with 3:34 to play, but they missed.
And this is where
the
they
extra
expect
point
to be, and this is where they've been for the last 56 games.
Timeouts could be a factor.
Yes, absolutely. Paulsboro hoping they won't have any need to call any, and Woodbury with two.
Now, do you squib this kick to keep it away from Sturtevant?
No, I'm going to kick it as deep and as far as I can, but I will kick it away from him. I'll kick to Sean Harvey instead.
Reggie Lewis has it teed up.
Don't want to give them field position by the short kick.
Lewis's kick will go to Harvey. Comes straight up the middle, breaks one tackle, tripped and fell. Got all the way up close to the 40-yard line. Mark him down at the 39.
They get good field position in any event, as Harvey almost was able to break it, found the lane right up the middle. And he, of course, spun a little bit and lost balance and went down. Now we see what will the Thundering Herd do on this series. Are they going to throw the football and try to go that way, or is Kent going to be a little nervous after throwing that last interception?
And we talked about all the hype in this ball game. It's lived up to its billing.
Oh, absolutely. Particularly if you look at the score, how closely they're matched. Sturtevant has really not been a factor rushing the football at all.
Just 10 carries for 41 yards. Here's a quick lateral pass, complete to Johnson in the open field. He's hit hard and going down. And that was Richard Gaines on the hit.
That's Paulsboro football, and the fans in the stands know it, and you could hear every one of them exclaiming, "Oh!" on that hit. Good pass out to Johnson. They will figure we'll make a one-on-one play. We'll see if we can beat him, but you don't beat him when you go backwards. Gaines just wound up, saw it coming, and got in there in a hurry.
Inside 3 minutes, 2:55 on the clock moving. 2nd down and 10 at the 39-yard line. Kent under center. 5-step drop. He's thrown all the way. They wanted to set up a screen pass, and he's going to air this into the sideline. Incomplete. Any flags? No.
He had a man out there. Fortunately for him, there was a potential receiver, Seth Allen. I don't think he was thrown to him. I think it was grounding. But with Allen being right near where the ball went, after being chased down by Reggie Lewis, Kent fortunate to get away without a big loss on that play or a penalty.
Kent just 3 of 9, 15 yards and 2 interceptions, and 1 came back for a touchdown. What's the play here, Coach? 2:35 to go, 3rd and 10.
Now, how about that, having to call one of the 2 timeouts they had left, using it in this situation instead of maybe when they were down in close driving and want to use it to stop the clock to give them the chance to get into the end zone.
Well, so far, Paulsboro hanging on. 2:35 to play. They lead the ball game 14-8. It's been their defense which has propelled them to the lead here in the 4th quarter, with sophomore Troy Bennett with a touchdown return.
Well, during this timeout, I think we should give some credit to the athletic directors of both schools, Bob Frederick and Tony Gadecka, who had to sit together last night and decide whether to play this one. With the exception of some rain right about halftime, they played this game without rain. So they got away with it, huh?
Yes, they did. 2:35 to go. And it was written for a long time that if the streak was going to come to an end, it would probably come to an end today against a very tough Woodbury team, and it's exactly what we've seen. It's been that close all day long.
As far as regular season goes, that was the anticipation, because when you take a look at the schedule the rest of the way for Paulsboro, at Gateway, who's only won 1 game, Sterling's having a terrible year, and West Deptford's only won a couple of games. So it'll be playoff time if they win this one before they'll be tested again.
3rd and 10 down the middle, tipped, incomplete. First it was touched by Demian Green, and then it looked like Bennett almost had a chance to get it for his 3rd interception of the day, but it falls incomplete.
And if Bennett had gotten it, that would have closed them off clearly, giving them a chance just to run it out with Woodbury with 1 timeout. Kent back, looking, he wants to go in the middle this time, does not want to throw it to the sideline. Ball up in the air, but look at the defenders. First it's Green, and then nearly Bennett making the interception.
Well, the defense will be tested one more time. 4th and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Gotta go.
They need 10 yards for the first down. Now here we go. Ryan Kent brings them up. Notice, basically 3 wide outs in the pattern on the right side. Kent's under center. Single step back behind him. 5-step drop. He steps up with a pocket. He's going to run. He's got to go 10 yards for the first down.
No.
He won't get it.
Did not get it.
He did not get it. Paulsboro will take over on downs. It was Anthony Holloway who stepped into the hole, number 84, to make the tackle.
And just makes it in time. Another half yard, he has the first down, and the drive stays alive. Remember, Woodbury has just the 1 timeout left. 2:16 to play. Paulsboro can run this one out. Look at him stretch, but not far enough.
Anthony Holloway with the tackle, and you see Warren Sharper saying, no way. First down the other way. 2:16 to play. They really need, 1 first down to run out the clock.
Yeah. Well, Woodbury can only stop it once. Got to stay in bounds, hold on to the football.
Well, no fumbles here. They have Richard Gaines covering up, and a nice hole up the middle. About a good 5-yard gain for Richard Gaines. And there's the announcement with Gaines going over 1,000 for the season, and the crowd responds.
How about this? Paulsboro's going to call a timeout? No, they've changed it. The official referee had made the wrong. Wildermuth had indicated timeout Paulsboro. He had to mean Woodbury. Finally changed it and corrected that.
So with 2:05 to go, the clock has been stopped.
Yeah, we get our money's worth.
Well, we talked about gains all day long. He has gone over 1,000 for this season.
1,000-plus rusher, and he's done it on many charges like this today. Not many holes, not many seams. And he's had to do it with 4 or 5, 6, 7-yard splurges at the most. He's up at 112 yards, a touchdown on 33 carries. 33 carries. That's an awful lot of carries at any level.
And you know what? I won't mention the thing the running backs don't want to hear, but he has been great at handling the football. Yes. He hasn't put it on the ground today.
Yeah. That's the key here at the end, isn't it? 2:05, and by our count, Woodbury cannot stop the clock anymore.
I'll tell you what, great crowd came out today. They had advanced ticket sales of over 2,000.
May have been one of the factors that helped them decide to play the game, huh?
Go Big Red. Well, it may not be Lincoln, but just like the fervor out at Cornhusker Stadium, we've seen it here today. 2nd and 5. Gain straight forward. He's very close to a first down.
There'll be a big sigh of relief here. You talk to the Paulsboro fans, of course, they won't see it as close as maybe we've seen it. This is a game that a mistake either way could cost either team the game, and it was a mistake and an error, but taking advantage of that error by Paulsboro, that probably is going to mean this game. That'll be Bennett's interception.
Well, you'll see all the tomahawks. There'll be a lot handed out after the big plays in this ball game for Paulsboro. Gains first down for Paulsboro, and that should just about do it. 1:27 to go.
All they got to do is kneel.
And they can run it out. And the streak will stay alive at 57 and counting. And you know what? This is going to be another one of those ball games. So now during the course of the streak, they'll say there were four games,
right,
that were decided by 10 points or less.
And Woodbury involved in 2 of them.
Absolutely right.
Now, do not be surprised. This will be a game that we will have a rematch of in the Group 1 South Jersey playoffs.
PowerPoints line up that way?
Oh, absolutely. They will match up. I've just got to believe it.
Well, there's the first knee. Well, I want to remind everyone to stay tuned for our post-game show coming up here on CN8, the Comcast network, as we'll let the clock run down and kneel down just a few more times, as it was a struggle all day long. And Paulsboro will leave home here with a victory.
And maybe make them a better football team as they go along, this club. A lot of people haven't written them down as one of the better or best Woodbury or Paulsboro clubs, but you get tested like this and pass the test, it can make you that much better.
The clock at 24 seconds, and that will do it. 57 straight as Paulsboro continues its domination throughout New Jersey. The streak is alive, and Woodbury put up a valiant fight, Mike, but they're going to come up just a little short.
This will be a very disappointing bus ride home for Woodbury. Had a feeling that they were coming over here to get a win and end the streak. Fell behind, but then tied it up and looked as if they had a shot because of field position in the second half, where it had finally swung in their direction. But they were unable to do it because Paulsboro came up with the big defensive play at the right moment, and the sophomore, Troy Bennett, came up big, ran it in for a touchdown to give them the victory.
The final in this one, 14-8 for Paulsboro, 205 yards for the game to 88 total offense. It was thorough as far as the numbers go that way, but it was close on the scoreboard. Hope you enjoyed it here on CN8, the Comcast Network. 14-8 the final for Paulsboro. We'll come back with more in a moment right here on the Comcast Network. Stay with us. Welcome back to Paulsboro, your final 14-8. The streak stays alive as we go to 57 games, and right now I'm joined by the head coach, Glenn Howard. And Coach, turnovers are something that you can't plan on or count on, but yet turnovers prove to be so big in today's ballgame.
Right. It looked like us and Woodbury were playing a game of turnovers at one time. We got one, then they got one, then we got it back, and it was just going back and forth. It's something, especially with the weather today, it's hard to guard against turnovers. It's something that we try to coach the kids on, especially the running backs and the quarterbacks make good decisions, cover the ball up, all the fundamentals. but sometimes it just happens, especially when you're playing a team like Woodbury with a great defense.
How much was the weather a factor? I know you gave the ball to your star running back, Richard Gaines, today 35 times. He didn't mishandle it at all.
Right. I was surprised that he had that many carries. I'm sure the weather affected us and Woodbury a little bit because we both throw the ball a little bit and have option attacks. And it kind of limits what you want to do, especially when you're backed up in your own end on the minor side of the field. But we managed to try to pick and choose when we wanted to throw the ball and mix in a few options, which we wanted to do. And, thank God things worked out for us.
Well, Coach, I'll let you go, but before I do, I know you downplayed the streak. You're up to 57 games now, but now people around here are already talking rematch in the playoffs. I mean, do you think about those things, or can you?
No, we won't think about it. Woodbury has a great team. They're definitely probably one of the best teams in Group 1 in South Jersey. And, if we have to face them again, we have to face them. But we got a lot of ball to play before that. And I just thank God for this victory. And, everybody came out healthy today. And it was a blessing that we came out with a victory.
Coach Glenn Howard, thanks for joining us on CN8, the Comcast Network.
Thank you very much.
Also, I'm joined right now by, the running back who did it all today, 35 carries, over 100 yards on the day, and we're talking about Richard Gaines. Richard, did you think that you'd be called on to carry the mail that much here today?
Well, I thought that my fullback, Troy Bennett, was going to carry the ball more today because he's more of a power back. It was raining today. So I figured he was going to touch the ball more than me. And, every once in a while, he mix it in to keep it honest outside, with me. But I was surprised that I touched the ball 35 times today. Very surprised.
Also, the magnitude of this ball game, but now is every game the biggest game as you continue your streak? Now you're up to 57 wins.
Well, every team comes in here and plays it just like Woodbury. Woodbury's better than them, but every team comes in here and, try to go head-to-head with us, take us out every week. Every team plays us the hardest. They play with all their heart and everything. I'm sorry that, that we had to have a team walk off this field with a loss today, but I know I didn't want to lose today, so.
Well, Richard, great job, and thanks for joining us here on CN8, the Comcast Network, and good luck down the stretch and into the playoffs as well.
Thank you, too.
Also, Mike Lindner coming in for your final comments as we get ready to talk about the play of today's ball game. And, without a doubt, Mike, as I get ready to roll it in the truck here, the interception by Troy Bennett basically wins this ball game down the stretch, and it was a turnover that really stemmed the tide in this one.
Well, we saw turnovers all day long, and it was not characteristic of either one of these ball clubs, but this was a big one. Down deep in their own territory, and Kent drops back, decides to throw the football, looking long, and stepping up in front of the receivers was number 44, the sophomore Troy Bennett. Picked it up and just went in 21 yards for the touchdown. That's the one that keeps the streak alive, and it's one a sophomore will remember for a long time.
And I guess we really shouldn't be surprised that the defenses both rose up like we thought they would. These are two of the best defensive teams, not only in South Jersey, but in the state.
Well, absolutely. And I think maybe the big thing today with Paulsboro is here's a club that argues they never think about the game other than the one that they're playing that week. But I think they've been pointing to this one on their schedule all year long. And maybe as a result, we're a little bit tight. And then the outstanding play by Woodbury forced the turnovers and the uncharacteristic mistakes on Paulsboro's side and made this an outstanding game. And I'm already looking forward for the replay in the playoffs.
Well, the rematch will come down the line, that's for sure, if everything works out the way it should. And now for Mike Lindner, I'm Mick Moninghoff. Thanks for joining us on CN8, the Comcast Network, as Paulsboro goes to 6-0, Woodbury to 5-1. Paulsboro, the Red Raiders, with a big 14-8 victory here today. So long, everybody.